This is the One, and this is Bristol, where we're finding out how the West was one-to-one. Today we're meeting with dealers to find out how they're helping us win the West. We're also seeing customers and finding out who they'd like to have a one-to-one with, and the video diary from the people that actually bring us these. But first, you don't win the West, and you certainly don't win a million without paying attention to the vital details. So here's the first in a series of special reports on the vital few.
This is one-to-one customer services.
Did you know that our customers, on average, call us more than once a month? Why do they do it?
Your service has been temporarily...
We've looked at the top 10 reasons for customers contacting one-to-one, and many of the reasons they contact us are related to one-to-one's own internal processes. For instance, they have a problem with billing and payment, they're hitting their credit limit, they have a voicemail problem, and not only are they calling us once, but often 2 or 3 times to get their problem resolved.
So the call centres have to take more calls and make each call shorter. Well, perhaps not. Anyway, this place doesn't cause those problems. Customers don't call about credit limits and bill payments because of what happens here.
Firstly, we need to reduce customers calling us for the wrong reasons by eliminating the need to call or improving the processes associated with that call. And secondly, where they do need to call us, then we need to improve the efficiency and the way we handle the call.
OK, we're doing things to provoke customer calls, so logically we can presumably cut calls. Fine, but how essential is that? Is it still one of the vital few?
Today, customers are still calling us at the rate of about 18 to 20 times a year. That's far too many for a customer to be happy with the quality of service we're providing. And equally important, it's going to cost us far too much in the long run to have to answer that many calls from the customers. If we want to make a profit, we have to reduce the overall cost of taking care of customers once we acquire them.
OK, so what are we doing in practice?
In practice, we've got about 10 or more projects which are all part of the call reduction programme. Some are trying to achieve things very quickly, lots of quick wins. Other ones are going to take rather longer. And obviously more are going to come up over time from breaking the barriers and other areas. One of the main projects we're looking at is credit limits.
At the moment, customers don't know they have a credit limit, for one, but when they do reach their credit limit, they receive an automatic message, which means they have to ring back again from another telephone to try and sort that out.
One of the big things we're about to put in place is the automation of credit limits. And that will mean that customers won't need to call in to have their credit limits increased, because they'll be increased automatically. And those increases will be based on how customers pay and how they use the phone. And increases will happen from the moment they join one-to-one. So once we get that first payment, their credit limits will start to increase.
We've actually started a trial whereby when they hear that announcement that tells them they've reached their credit limit, they can immediately go through to a customer service agent and sort the situation out there and then.
We're getting far too many calls into the call centre related to SIM cards in 2 areas. The first related to cards being sent out incorrectly due to the diagnostics, and the second area was that the cards being sent out were taking too long to arrive at the customers, taking over a week in some cases before they received the card. I mean, this time they were off air, and also the possibility of them having to call back into chase for their delivery.
The way we got around this was for the SIM manufacturer to actually change their process and also to inform us of when cards had been dispatched. This therefore led us to inform customer services via a note on Virtuoso.
It's got to make sense. Most of the time she calls us, she's got a problem, so reducing the need to call improves customer satisfaction. If she has no need to call us, she can get on with the calls she does need to make.
The One.
Next time we'll be looking at another of the vital few. Growth by day, growth by region. Jeff, how have you found one-to-one growth in this region?
The growth is very good. We're very encouraged by the growth. The coverage around this area is particularly good. We're based 12 miles from the city centre, so we're encouraged by the amount of coverage we have at the moment.
And how's one-to-one been for you?
We've only been selling one-to-one now for a week, and already we've connected 15 customers, so very pleased.
Great. Thanks, Jeff. And now to meet the people that bring these to market.
I'm Jane Ware, Product Manager in Equipment Marketing, and this is my video diary. Being a product manager in equipment marketing basically entails bringing a product or a new handset to launch. From the start, it's signing the product specs to make sure that we get the handset that we actually want with all the features that we want.
My name is Paul Denny. I'm the marketing manager for customer equipment. We believe in customer satisfaction more than anything else. It's absolutely paramount. And we go through a very stringent quality process as part of launching a product. And that's one of the reasons why sometimes product is later than its GSM comparable products.
This is Steve Collier, one of the engineers. And this basically is where they do all the testing of the handsets.
Normally we'd receive a fairly early prototype of a phone. We'd try and get the early bugs fixed on the handset. And then we'd put the handset through a conformance test, which would take around about 6 weeks, and then any problems that were found would be reported back to the manufacturers. We would expect to receive a final version of software, which we would then go through and repeat all the tests.
And it can be from 3 months up to 18 months. There's no real time scale in this testing. Obviously, once we're happy with the end product, that's when we will launch it and not before.
Our job is to focus on the main brands, the best products, to make sure that our portfolio is as good as we can possibly make it. One of the difficulties we have is the manufacturers always develop GSM product first. That's something we're trying to overcome, and we're having some success with that.
At the same time, we'll be developing the packaging. This generally involves designing the artwork on the outside, ensuring that all the key messages are on the box, that it's bright enough to go into channel and can be used for point of sale, and that it distinguishes our handsets from all the other handsets in the range. This is Dee Dutter, who's a consumer marketing manager. I've been working with Dee now over the last few weeks, incorporating a new box design for a new proposition which will be launched within the next few months.
What we have done is we have started developing the positioning for this box and identifying who this box should be aimed at. And once we have developed and discussed that, we then took it to a designer. And the designer has been putting graphics on this box to make it look nice and obviously make it acceptable to the consumers out there. At this stage, it's secret and we can't show it to you. But soon, we will be able to show what's in this bag in about 2 months.
This is Tom Sebastiano from Creative Services. I initially briefed him on some new point of sale for the Nokia 8146. Well, these are the initial visuals that we got back from the agency. As you can see, they're pretty much the same theme with the curved design. The handset is actually curved, so we want to incorporate that feature of it. It's a very distinctive phone.
This is the final product, and it's quite simple to make up, and it fits the criteria of the original brief with its curves to emulate the phone.
This is part of customer equipment where we display all the handsets we've ever launched. We try and show the packaging, the point of sale we've designed, the actual handsets themselves as well. Over here we've got a certificate of an award we won for one of the handsets. This is our current range of products we have. So we've got the Nortel and the new Nokia 8146. The job is great fun, but you have to put the time and the effort into it. The key to a successful launch is timing, that everything is ready for the launch date. There's an awful lot of interaction with other departments from around the company, which is great because we get to meet everybody and find out what else is going on. But it's a lot of hard work as well, and that's it. Ian, you were the first one-to-one dealer here in Bristol, weren't you?
Yeah, that's right. We sold the first one-to-one phone in April.
And May is an important month for you.
Yes, it is. We're going to open a new one-to-one shop in Clifton, which will be totally branded one-to-one. Also, all the advertising starts, which will be a big promotion. We're also putting together a football festival in August, which we're co-financing with one-to-one.
And how do you find the coverage in Bristol?
Excellent. It's as good as any of the other networks.
So who would you like to have a one-to-one with? Ian, who would you like to have a one-to-one with?
Erin Morecambe.
It's in the language, isn't it? But who do our customers actually have a one-to-one with?
The one-to-one telephone has got to be classed as one of your most important tools, apart from pipe bender and gas bottle, the usual items that would come to mind with a plumber. I have a one-to-one with clients every day. I would say between 15 20 calls a day is in no way an exaggeration of calls coming into me. I'm probably making 20 to 30 calls going out as well. I use the one-to-one phone, obviously for being in direct contact with the office, but also for ordering materials in advance and speeding up the whole process of being able to get to the job and complete the job.
I'm described as a female Liberace. I perform at various areas, whether it's here or abroad. My performances are very flamboyant because also the way I dress. As Liberace had the candelabra as a trademark, so my one-to-one is my trademark, and I have it wherever I go throughout my performances.
We tend to do a lot of celebrities, television people, actors, famous film stars, a lot of people in the pop business, Eric Clapton, Bill Wyman, Mr Esseltine, Norman Tebbit, Brick Eklund tends to ring us quite regular. John Cleves actually tends to use us a lot and again contacts us on the mobile one-to-one system. I feel that they're very comfortable, the fact that you know, they can have a one-to-one with us, a one-to-one direct with the plumber. You know, just allows them to feel comfortable, basically.
I dress it up with whatever clothes to match whatever I'm wearing at that time of performance. So as of today, my one-to-one is wearing a silver outfit, and I mean, because it has gone to Ascot recently, has worn where it says "Life's a Beach" hat, and also because recently I did the London Marathon, and because my one-to-one came with me, it well, basically I've given my one-to-one my medal because it did come with me and it did help me finish the 26 miles.
Our customers expect us all to have mobile telephones, and I think one-to-one is ideally suited for that. The one-to-one, I would say, is you know, more than improved the business, possibly made us the #1 plumbing company in the areas that we serve.
I'd say the one-to-one plays a very big part in the actual business. Communication's a must. The beauty of the one-to-one is the fact that by just pressing a number, we're in contact with a plumber within that area, and particularly the type of clientele that we work for would need that. And without the one-to-one, obviously, we wouldn't be able to produce that service.
During one of my performances, because generally I have my one-to-one switched on all the time, it was coming up to an interval and I was finishing one of my pieces and my one-to-one phone rang. Apparently it was somebody in the audience asking me to see me after the show, so basically for a drink. The audience did burst out laughing because it was such an unusual and, I suppose, a shock to everybody, including me, but it was a very much a genuine call. I would have a one-to-one with Liberace because I identify with him and have some similarities.
I'd like to have a one-to-one with Pavarotti.
If I could have a one-to-one with Liberace, I would ask him how he managed to play the piano with all the rings on his fingers.
I'd like to have a one-to-one with Richard Branson.
I would also ask him if he would replace his candelabra with a one-to-one phone.
I'd like to have a one-to-one with Thomas Crapper. That's the fella that invented the first flashing toilet.
As the company celebrates its Western rollout, the One is also celebrating. Recently we were honoured to receive one of the top awards in the video industry, with plenty of praise for the staff presenters. So if you'd like to join our Hall of Fame and you've got plenty to say, then don't hesitate to get in touch with us. As a CSA myself, I know this is sometimes difficult, but the One is working on it. So it's goodbye from the West, and thanks to everybody that's contributed. I'm Carra Bosworth, very wet, very cold, and this is The One.